And this is the Introduction to Algebra series, Vedic Math Way, video number A1. It is a 2 of 4. I split that video into four sections. This is second section. In this section, we talk about additions and subtractions. And let's continue. Here are some sutras I worked out for the algebra, and they apply to monomials. Monomials are part of polynomials with only one term. Okay, let's continue here. Add. If you're trying to add two monomials, if the flags are same, that means powers are same, we add the numbers, and number mean we add the coefficients of the two terms. Let's continue. In subtraction, in two monomials separated by minus sign, if the flags are same, that means same power, subtract the numbers, which is would subtract the coefficients. Same thing in multiply. If flags, add the flags and multiply numbers. Number mean multiply the coefficients. So we add the two flags, two powers, values, and multiply the two coefficients. In division, divide with we subtract the flags, subtract powers, and divide the numbers. So we subtract the flag of the divisor from that of the dividend. We divide the coefficient of the dividend by that of the divisor. Okay, let's continue here. So let's continue. Now we are on add and subtract section here. Okay. Sutras for add and subtract are, let's see what happened. Flag power is same, flag or power is same, we can add the numbers which are coefficients. Okay, if the two monomials are joined by either plus or minus, we can, and they have same flag value, we can compute add the coefficients or subtract the coefficients. Let's continue here. In addition, two monomials add coefficients when flags match. Okay, in subtracting monomials, subtract coefficients when flags match. Let's continue here. Example, 3 times x to the power 5 plus 7 times x cubed. The two flag values are 5 here and 3 here. And they are not the same. They do not match. So no further simplifications possible. So it still says 3 times x to the power 5 plus 7 times x cubed. Let's continue here. Good news, bad news. Good news is there is no carry and no borrow. Bad news is there are negative numbers. But in manipulating these numbers, first of all, various monomials might have a negative values. The coefficient might negative, or we might end up getting a negative coefficients after some manipulations. Let's continue. We will use the same flag in discussion here instead of like terms. So if two monomials are like terms if they had the same flag value. So we would use, if two terms are two monomials have same flag, we can do add and subtract. Let's continue here. In the above, 3 times x to the power 5 plus 7 times x cubed. Okay, it's like 3 apples and 2 oranges, and they just say 3 apples plus 2 oranges. No further simplification is possible. This is a x to the power 5 term, and this is x cubed term. So they are two different kind of terms, and they don't have same flag value, do not match, and they are like apples and oranges. Let's continue here. However, if there's 6 oranges and 5 oranges, then we can make it, add them up to make it 11 oranges. Let's continue here. Let's do some example here. It's a subtraction example now. 4 times x minus 3 times x is a 4x and minus 3x. There same power, flag value is 1 here, flag value is 1 here, and so we can subtract 4 minus 3, we subtract the coefficients. Let's continue here. Do have same flag values? Do they have them? And yes, if you don't see that, rewrite the thing. Okay, so if you say first power of x and first power of x here, so now they have same flag value, and now we can subtract. How about now? Okay, let's continue and apply the sutra. Flag same, subtract the coefficients. So E is expression E, 4 times x minus 3x is 4 minus 3 times x, okay, which is subtract the coefficients. Okay? So 4 minus 3 is 1, it's 1 times x. We might even say x and omit the 1 times, because 1 times the number is same number. Okay? Let's continue here. Do some examples here. How about now minus 4 times x4, fourth power x, plus 2 times fourth power x. That's equal to minus 4. So we would just add, subtract the coefficients here. So x fourth, this is a flag is 4, flag is 4, and we are trying to add the two monomials here. So it's a minus 4 coefficients here, plus 2 coefficients here. So we add the two together, minus 4 plus 2. Okay, let's continue here. And are you comfortable with this situation here when you are trying to subtract a larger number? Minus 4. Let's try and subtract 4 from a 2. Okay, 2 is a smaller number. We are trying to subtract a larger number. Let's continue here. When we did this video, subtraction as a game, and that's the, in this video we had a rule to subtract smaller number from a larger number. Let's continue here. How do we handle that? So if there's an issue, let's see if we can make it a converted to subtracting a smaller number from a larger number. So we can do this. This is the situation right now. We have minus 4 plus 2 is the coefficient times x fourth power of x. Let's continue here. How do you handle that? We apply sutra, transpose and apply to convert that to an equivalent expression. So minus 4 plus 2 is asking for subtracting a larger number from a smaller number, and we would change that to an equivalent expression by using a transpose and apply, and we will end up with subtracting a smaller number from larger number. Let's continue what we do here. We are going to do by multiplication and by dividing by minus 1. We would, this minus 4 plus 2, we would multiply by minus 1 and also divide by minus 1. Let's continue here. And look at that. If a, we are trying to divide minus 1, okay, and if you multiply and divide this a divided minus 1 again by minus 1, you see that it comes out to, in denominator we got plus 1 here, so a times minus 1. So a divided by minus 1 is equal to a times minus 1. For your information, when we multiply by minus 1 twice, we are using sutra by multiplying and dividing by minus 1. So we would do multiply and divide that by minus 1. Let's see what I mean by, okay, multiply by minus 1 here and divide inside, okay, that means minus and 4 minus 2. We just, now we are subtracting a smaller number from a larger number, so it's a minus 4 minus 2 is 2 here, and fourth power of x. Let's continue with add and subtract. This time we would do binomials. That means we would take expressions consisting of two terms. Let's continue here. My E1 is minus 3 times x cubed plus 8 times x fourth. So it has two monomials. One is minus 3 times x cubed, another is 8 times x power 4. Let's continue here. And E2 is 5 times x, one monomial, another one is minus 6 times x cubed. So E1 has two terms and E2 has two terms. We call them binomials. Let's continue here. So we have to find E1 plus E2. That's the problem here. Highest flag value is 4. Let's look at flag values. 3 here and 4 here. So far 4 is the highest. Here's one flag value 1 here and 3 here. Is 4 is still the highest value, and lowest value is here. 5 times x has a flag value of 1. Highest value is 4 and lowest value is 1. Okay, that means let's go write down my powers here. Fourth power x, third power of x, second power of x and first power of x, we would accumulate the corresponding flag values under this column with the, we would collect all the term with value of 4, flag value of 4 under x fourth column, and all the values, all the monomials with a flag value of 3 under the x cubed column, and all the monomials with the second power x under x squared column, and all the values monomials with a flag value of 1 under x power 1 column. Let's continue here. So first thing is minus 3x cubed. This is the first monomial I run into. So it is a minus 3 times x cubed. So under x cubed, it's a minus 3 is the coefficient, and x cubed is the variable part, and 3 is a flag value. Let's continue here. Next one is plus 8 times x4. So coefficient is 8, is plus 8. That's what we write down here. Let's continue. Next is 5 times x. This is a coefficient, flag value is 1. So coefficient 5 would go under x1. Let's column x1. Let's continue here. So we got a plus 5 here. Next is minus 6x cubed. Flag value is 3. So it's going to come in this column here. Let's continue here. So we got a minus 6 here. Now we would add the numbers in the columns. Add in each column. Okay. So what do we do here? This is 8, only one digit here. So plus 8 is the value. So result has a plus 8 times x fourth. Okay, next is minus 9 here, minus 3, minus 6, add them up is minus 9, and that's minus 9x cubed. Okay, and nothing under, no term under x squared, so 0x squared, and 5 under x first power, so plus 5 times x. Let's continue here. So 5 here. That means E1 plus E2 is 8x fourth minus 9x cubed plus 5. Now we will add and subtract linear terms here. Linear is a term with the highest power of x, highest flag value is 1. Okay, so this is a linear term here now. And if you look at number of terms, it's a 2, so it's binomials, but I would call linear here. Okay, linear is given, is the classification by the highest flag value. So 5 times x is minus 6 is the second linear term. Let's continue here. So we do E1 minus E2 this time. Let's continue. Okay, we know how to do E1 plus E2, so we would transpose E2 into minus E2. Let's continue what I do. So E1 minus E2 is 3 times x plus 7, that one, minus that one, 5 times x minus 6. Okay, now we would transpose this E2 so that I have plus here. Continue here. So that means 3 times x plus 7 plus here, and times minus 5 times x plus 6. I change the sign of 5 from positive to negative, and for 6 from negative to positive. Continue. So E1 minus E2 is, that's what it is, 3 times x plus 7. We are repeating this, some of the sections from the previous slide, which is that after we transpose, and highest flag value now is 1. Look at here, we just transpose here, and what we did is we multiplied and divided by minus 1. Okay, so when you multiply this minus sign by minus 1, it becomes positive. When I divide 5 times x by minus 1, it's become minus 5 times x. And when I divide minus 6 by minus 1, it becomes plus 6. Let's continue here. So x1, let's continue. Highest flag value is 1 here, here. And this one is highest flag value, 1. And this is the lowest is 0. Constant term has a flag value of 0. Constant term 7 is equal to 7 times x power 0. Let's continue here. So first term is 3x times x, so we plus 3x under x, plus 3 under column x1. Next is plus 7, this is a constant, it goes under the column 0th power of x. Continue here. Next term minus 5x here, minus 5 goes under, coefficient minus 5 goes under the column with a title of first power of x. Next is plus 6 goes in next column here. Let's continue. Now we would add up in the columns, add in columns. Okay, so that 3 minus 5 is minus 2. Okay, and 7 plus 6 is 13. Okay, so that means I have a minus 2x plus 13 is the result of doing E1 minus E2. Let's continue. That means E1 minus E2 is minus 2 times x, minus 2 times first power of x is same thing as x, and 0th power of x is same thing as 1. So 13. 13 times 1 is 13. So it's E1 minus E2 is minus 2x, that one here, plus 13. Let's continue. Now we just did a linear expression. Now we would do a add quadratics. Quadratics means a highest power of a monomial in a expression is 2. So this 2 here, E2 is minus 2x squared plus 5x plus 15. So this is 2 is the highest power and 0 is the lowest power of x. Okay, and we would do, we're trying to add this number together, E1 plus E2, and we just write down this expression here and plus this second expression here. Let's continue here. Highest flag value is 2. This is 2, 1, 0 flag value, and this is 2, 1, and a 0. Highest is 2, and lowest flag value is 0. So these are the columns I need. Second power of x, first power of x, and 0th power of x. Let's continue here. Collect terms in column. You're going to collect terms. So 3x squared, 3 goes in the column x squared. Okay. Then plus 7x is 7 goes under column first power of x. The minus 6 constant term goes under 0th power of x. Minus 6 goes in it. So now a second term here, second expression, which is E2. So minus 2 for x squared, plus 5 for x, and plus 15 for constant term. Let's continue here. Okay, so now we would add up in the columns. Okay, 3 minus 2 is plus 1, 7 plus 5 is plus 12, minus 6 plus 15 is plus 9. Okay, that is 1x squared plus 12x plus 9 is the answer of E1 plus E2. Okay, let's continue here. That means E1 plus E2 is equal to second power of x plus 12 times x plus 9. Okay, let's continue. That's x squared plus 12x plus 9. Let's continue. Okay, let's look at some examples of subtracting two cubic expressions. Let's see what I mean by that. The first expression example is E1 is 4x cubed plus 3x squared plus 7x minus 6. Second one is E2 is minus 7x cubed plus 9x squared plus 6. We call these the cubic expressions because highest flag value is 3. Let's see. This one is E1 is a cubic expression because highest flag value is 3. E2 is cubic expression because highest flag value is 3. Let's continue. So we have to E1 minus E2, which is equal to, now we replace E1 by right hand side of E1, which is 4x cubed plus 3x squared plus 7x minus 6, and this minus sign here, and E2 minus 7x cubed plus 9x squared from here, and plus 6 Let's continue here. Highest flag value is 3 and lowest flag value is 0. This is a 3 here, and constant term has a flag value of 0. Flag value 3, flag value 2, flag value 1, and flag value is 0. Same thing here. It's a flag value 3, 2, and a 0. Let's continue here. Okay, and so we need a column for x cubed, for x squared, plus first power of x and plus 0th power of x. Let's continue here. We would collect terms in the columns. First term is 4x cubed, flag value is 3, and this is the first column here. We will collect that 4x cubed, 4 coefficient 4 in this column here. Let's continue. So we got a from 4x cubed, I got a plus 4 in a x cubed column. Let's continue here. From plus 3x squared, I got a plus 3 in a x cubed column. Let's continue here. From plus 7x, I got a plus 7 in x column. Let's continue. From minus 6, I got a minus 6 in a constant column. Let's continue here. From minus 7, minus times minus is plus. That give me plus 7x cubed, and I got in this column here. That's a minus, and plus is a minus, so minus 9x squared. This is minus 9x squared, and I got a minus 9 in x squared column. Let's continue. Now I got this plus 6 here, and plus 6 and times minus is minus. This is minus 6. Minus 6 comes in this column, okay, in a constant column. Now what we do, we would add in columns. That gives me a, okay, first column x cubed column is 11, total 4 plus 7. X squared column is 3 minus 9 is minus 6. X1 column is plus 7. And x0 column is minus 6, which is 12. Minus 12. Okay, let's continue. That means that I got E1 minus E2 is equal to 11x cubed minus 6x squared plus 7x minus 12. Let's continue. Let's do some exercises now. We would try to find our E1 plus E2 and also E1 minus E2. First exercise is E1 is equal to minus 4x cubed and E2 is equal to minus 7x cubed. Flag value is 3, and coefficients are minus 4 and minus 7. Okay, this is one term and one term on E1 has one term and E2 also have one term. These are cubic expressions though. X cubed and minus 4x cubed minus 7x cubed. Let's continue here. Now hit another one here, minus 7x E1, E2 is 8, which is constant. This is a flag value 1 and E2 has a flag value of 0. Let's continue. Another one, E1 is 3 times x4. This is 3x fourth power of x times 3, and is fourth power x times 4 is a 4x to the raised to the power of 4. Okay, let's continue here. Next is E1 has two terms here, 4 plus 2x cubed. X cubed has flag value 3. This is flag value 0. Flag value 3 here, 9x cubed and minus 8x. Flag value is 1. And we have to compute both E1 plus E2 and E1 minus E2. Okay, next one has more terms now. It's x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x. That's E1. And E2 is 6x cubed minus 4x squared minus 7x. Let's continue. Another example here, and some more. If you want to look at some more, check out the khanacademy.org, math algebra, and also you can check out this regentsprep.org/regents math algebra AV2 extracts. You can check that up. I usually use the random number generator to make up these E1s and E2s, so you can also use a random number generator to compute your expressions. Let's continue.